us. Get relief in 30 minutes or less. Call now.
Here are the results of Megapoll today. We asked, what's the worst ice cream flavor? And of the 6 choices we gave you, it's wasabi. Wasabi.
You gotta say it like that.
And we're live.
Just in the nick of time.
You know?
Caitlin, you really zipped up here from the
I did.
basement floor.
Right.
And you were magically right here. I was just talking
ran
to you
up the stairs.
downstairs.
Yes, yes. How
Okay,
you
well, you
doing?
got your tennis shoes on.
Yep. You guys only a couple more days of this.
Yeah, how much longer on in the compression sock?
One more week. We're on Tuesday. A
Okay.
couple more days until
Everything's
Friday,
on
and then
track.
we can whip this thing off and get comfortable again.
And by
You know?
comfortable, you mean uncomfortable in
The
like
heels?
heel shoes, right?
I just mean like having this thing on is just kind of annoying. Like I've got
yeah.
so much going on. I've got this thing on, the Spanx, ladies know. Then you got the pants on top of it, the socks. It's just a lot.
and the power packs. There's two power packs back there. The viewer
guys,
can't see
I feel
at
like
home.
I can't move that well.
Yeah, well, now you know how Batman feels.
Right?
Right?
I heard.
The superheroes.
I
They
heard.
got all kinds of gadgets and gizmos. Welcome to Tuesday, everybody.
How's
Thank
it
you for
going,
joining
everybody?
us.
It was another wacky day of weather yesterday.
Last night was turbulence
It
at the
was.
Ponce household. We had
Yeah.
lightning. We had questions from the 4-year-old. What is that outside,
Sure.
Daddy?
Always. Is a tornado coming?
Yeah.
We had heavy rain, 4 to 8 inches of rainfall.
We had 4, I believe, in
Unreal. Yeah.
Yeah, up
Southern
in the
Cook-
northern suburbs.
Well, especially Southern Cook County, Northern Lake County, Indiana, DeKalb County got hit hard. And this morning, I was driving into work, lots of delays because of standing water. But you know, we say turn around, don't drown, but there's sometimes is an issue, which Joni was covering this morning too, when there's multiple lanes of traffic going in one direction, but there's standing water,
Yeah.
but you can't really like stop and turn around. That would be an interesting topic.
There's peer pressure. If everyone behind you is waiting to go, but you don't want to risk it.
There's
We
semi-trucks
saw-
on both sides of you.
FYI, if you missed GDC this morning, Joni was right in front of a viaduct where it was completely flooded out, and I would say 9 out of 10 cars were braving it. There was one very smart, and they were making it through by the hair of their chinny chin chin. Now the Jeep Wranglers, they were fine, okay, but like a couple of the other cars, it's like well above, not above the bumper, but yeah, the Honda, like I wouldn't risk that. It's just not worth it.
But I feel like sometimes it's like that minnow mentality. I don't know if you can really get out of that situation. So anyways, this morning you might be seeing some standing water in a few spots, but things are turning around today.
For a second, I was hydroplaning.
Oh, no.
On the expressway, I was going like 65. I knocked it down to like 45, 50 miles an hour after that happened.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, it was not a
so
comfortable
scary.
feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're here safe. Hope everyone had a safe commute. And we got a nice packed show for you today. First up, we are going to tour the city with one of our very special colleagues.
Yes.
An architecture tour with a special focus on Art Deco. I don't know if you're an architecture nerd,
I
Caitlin.
did the tour. The
oh, you
boat
did?
tour.
Okay.
Oh, it's so fun.
Chicago has some of the best Art Deco buildings in the entire world. Result of the Roaring 20s. You got to think like Al Capone and the Great. It always reminds me of like Al Capone and the Great Gatsby and bootleg and the whole thing.
Yes.
So she is going to show us a piece just in a couple of minutes there, and then there's something right now called over-tourism.
Okay.
Over-tourism.
Tell me more.
Okay, so apparently some of the hottest tourist destinations in the world right now are so oversaturated right now that it is becoming like a big, big problem, and even some of the backup locations are getting oversaturated. So over-tourism is an epidemic right now amid the summer travel boom. So we're going to be speaking with a travel expert on how to navigate this and how to avoid the crowds.
Maybe it has something to do with people having babies later in life or choosing not to have children at all and just traveling.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean?
We're going to get to the bottom of it.
We will.
And there's another cool thing happening in Chicago. This is, we always hear about new apps, new AI, that kind of thing. There's someone who's come up with an app to gamify taking the CTA. So it's an app that you sign into, and it basically tracks our daily commutes, transit stats, and it basically turns public transit into a friendly competition. You track your miles, you rank riders, you measure your environmental impact, and it's all gamified. So we're going to talk to him about what inspired him to create this app. I actually heard a really cool interview with a woman who talks about how, in general, in our lives, you can the most obvious example is tracking our steps, right?
Yeah.
Like to get to that 10,000 or like unlocking achievements. But there's a whole book written. I heard an interview with this author about how to gamify like our entire lives, whether it's eating or
it's like your whole mentality. Like you get to live in this body and have fun every day.
You can think of yourself as like the main character in your own video game.
Yeah.
So it's cool stuff. We're going to talk to him a little bit later. But first up, we're going to take a step back to the Roaring 20s.
All right.
The Roaring 20s, everybody, with a walking tour through Chicago's financial district where gleaming Art Deco lobbies tell the story of an era defined by prosperity, bold design, opulence. I love the Board of Trade building. The lobbies in some of these financial buildings on LaSalle there, they're works of art. I mean, you're in a work of art.
The dark paint, the beautiful light fixtures.
It's amazing. Hidden symbols, lavish materials, the towering Board of Trade building. This tour highlights the architectural treasures that have made LaSalle Street a showcase of modern style, and we sent our producer Delaney to check it all out.
Many people are surprised when they find out I've walked past this building for years. Maybe it was the lobby of One North LaSalle. The building is interesting, but would you expect the lobby was that fabulous? Expensive, expensive, expensive. This tour has the most incredible buildings and lobbies. I think you'll see, period. Because incredibly lavish buildings were built at a time of great financial prosperity. LaSalle Street, then Chicago's Wall Street, many banks, and we were learning how many of these buildings were put up by developers with banking halls designed for banks, and even if they didn't have a bank as a tenant, they thought we'll get one because banks were ideal tenants then. They had so much prosperity that the architecture firms could go crazy. We saw those incredibly elaborate bronze elevator doors, expensive material, high level of expert craftsmanship, all the amazing stone carving. All of these designs went into the buildings to send a message about prosperity and success and doing well. What is she doing? Well, she has a cornucopia, or horn of plenty, and that's a nice analogy for prosperity. And then these images reinforce the idea of having success. There are some key design elements which we see on most Art Deco buildings, big, medium, or small, and they are the chevron or zigzags. They love the 8-sided octagon. They love sunburst, flowers, birds, fountains. Sometimes they had Greek and Roman gods and goddesses. These designs all help you identify an Art Deco building. For the skyscrapers in New York and Chicago, the distinctive shape of the base with a much smaller tower because of a height limitation, zoning ordinance. So the massive base and the tower in a much smaller footprint, so you didn't have too many solid, massive buildings casting dark shadows, making canyons of the street. So you get that distinctive look of the base with the tower rising up. We have 6 months of classroom training, including architects and engineers and the staff, and we try to make it an engaging and interactive experience for the audience. We try to get them involved. So people really seem to love Art Deco because there's so much imagery and things they can see and try to interpret. I've even had young children on this tour, 6, 10, and they loved it. Fortunately, so many of these buildings have been preserved. Chicago does an excellent job with adaptive reuse, and it's marvelous they've been preserved like this.
I think. Yeah.
What is your favorite part of Chicago architecture? Is it the Art Deco, or do you gravitate more toward the more modern steel and glass structures?
You know what my favorite is? Like we were talking yesterday about the industrial areas of Chicago, like the industrial
You like that
buildings.
gritty, like West Loop or West Town, like those industrial corridors. I get that.
Those are my
I love
fave.
that too. And you know, so many of those buildings over there are made out of Chicago brick, which is from the bed of the Chicago River and Lake Michigan as well. So one really cool thing about Chicago brick is, like they say, Chicago is made of itself. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's made of itself. So a lot of those brick buildings over there in West Town, West Loop, are from the riverbed and the bed of Lake Michigan. It's so cool.
We had a townhouse a couple years ago that had Chicago brick flooring in the laundry room, and I didn't know what it was, but the Chicago bricks
It was a brick flooring.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
But like you could see on the bricks, and I didn't realize it was because they were made from.
Yeah, they have a distinctive color. It's like a reddish, orangish color that's distinctly Chicago.
What about you? What's your favorite?
I gravitate toward the Art Deco. And Delaney, by the way, you did an outstanding job on that piece. I love the music. It takes you back in time, and she is a treasure. She's a gem.
Yes.
That tour guide there, and I'm not surprised that 6 or 10-year-old liked her tour.
Is your house decorated that way?
Ours, there's a little bit. Our house is 1920s for sure, and there are a couple of little actually our bathrooms are very Art Deco.
Okay.
Yeah, our upstairs bathroom is, and then some of the radiators have like that, you know, I spray painted them myself, but like that brassy color. So yeah, there's a little bit of Art Deco inspired touches on the inside.
Sure.
But I would definitely say that I gravitate toward the 1920s buildings in Chicago. Some of my favorites, the Tribune Tower. I love the Hotel Intercontinental, the Board of Trade building, the Jewelers building over here. And those lobbies just take your breath away.
Yeah, they do.
They totally remind me of just like Al Capone, Great Gatsby.
And it's hard to find, authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're preserved so well.
Yeah.
What do you think is do you have a favorite downtown building? that comes to mind?
Not really. Not really.
I mean, I go
where do
different.
we have our Christmas party?
Oh, the athletic club.
Oh, was that what it was?
The athletic club
I
right
wanna know
down
the
here.
history. That was
Yes.
outstandingly beautiful.
Yes, it is. I don't know the history of that. I
would
think
be
that
so
predates
curious.
the Art Deco, I think, because I think it feels to me like it might be even a little bit older.
It was
The
almost
Chicago
like
Athletic Club.
otherworldly there.
Yeah, it is unbelievable.
Doesn't seem like it's in Chicago.
It's funny because I do gravitate toward the Art Deco, but I think if I had to choose a favorite building, it's the what used to be known as the John Hancock.
Yeah.
Because I like that crisscross
Do you?
pattern on the
Yeah.
outside. I think that is just like so iconic, Chicago.
I like the history of the buildings. Like I just picture, you know, the people who were building these structures
Mm-hmm.
and putting in this decor, and like if we could just be a fly
Oh,
on
they
the
were-
wall back then, and now we still have it today. That's amazing. To
They
me.
were masters of their craft, and I think in this economy, those same architectural elements, all that gilded trim that we just saw in Delaney's piece, that would be way out of budget for
Yeah, no, for sure.
nowadays. I
You
think
know, another street I really like is Dearborn.
Oh, yeah.
And that's more residential, obviously, but like
up toward the north,
the
yeah.
Gold Coast.
Gold
I
Coast,
used to
Dearborn
like to
State
run down
Street in
those
there.
those roads with the row
Amazing.
houses.
Unbelievable. Yeah,
It's-
those Gold
They're
Coast.
beautiful.
This is a great winter date idea, everybody.
Okay.
Be sure to credit me for this. Nice hot cup of, you know.
Hot cup of Joe.
Joe or
With a little something,
tea or
something.
chai, whatever it
Okay.
is, like a sweet hot drink from like Starbucks or something. And then just walk in wintertime, Christmas season, walk that stretch. You can see in the window, everyone goes all out
Yeah.
with their Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
You know, get out of a State Street. I know obviously the window displays at the old Marshall Fields, Macy's, they're awesome. Kids love that. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
for the adults, if you just do a little walking tour on a nice winter night, milder winter night, look in the Christmas
It's
decorations in
beyond.
Gold Coast.
The Beyond the Beyond.
It's
and then
so
you could
good.
walk all the way to Lincoln Park.
Yeah, and have a rack of rib at Twin Anchors. That's a good winter day.
Okay.
Twin Anchors.
Twin Anchors.
Amazing rack of rib there. Yeah, the baby back ribs there. So that's my winter date idea.
So
Put a
sweet.
pin in that.
Yeah.
Enjoy the fall though.
You know
We
where
got a
I
lot
always
of
wanted
time.
to go down there is the Blue Door. Have you been to that
Oh,
restaurant?
no.
It's a darling little place from the outside.
The
I've never
Blue
been
Door.
inside. Yeah.
I'm not cool
I'll
enough
have to
to know.
look it
Anita
up.
Blanton knows all these places.
And Sylvia Perez, of course.
Yes,
We've got
indeed.
some foodies amongst us.
Okay, so we are going to take a quick break. We're talking about being tourists in our own town, but over-tourism is an epidemic right now, not just here in the States, but globally, worldwide. If you feel like you've been to some tourist spots and it's more crowded than ever, that is not your imagination. So coming up, we're going to be speaking with a travel expert about how to navigate around overcrowding in some of the most popular tourist destinations. So stay with us. She's going to join us when we come back.
10:20, welcome back. Happy Tuesday. So if you have traveled abroad this summer, chances are you've noticed it feels a little more crowded than ever. From the Trevi Fountain in Rome to Dubrovnik's Old Town, popular spots, they're struggling under the weight of mass tourism. So a recent survey found nearly 3/4 of travelers are concerned about over-tourism, with many now avoiding traditional hotspots altogether. So what's driving this surge and how does it impact both safety and the overall travel experience? We are joined by travel expert Janine Tornatore to help break it down. Good morning, Janine.
Good morning, great to be here.
Okay, so Janine, I've got a theory about this. I think it might have something to do with the fact that a lot of people are either having kids later in life or choosing not to have kids at all and just travel. Are you finding that this might be the trend of the people these days?
Well, I think that's part of it. Travel is just also so much more accessible, I think, to a broader audience than it was even, say, 20 years ago. And then, of course, you have social media, also another big factor. And when you see someone's photos on Instagram, everyone wants to go there, right? And everyone's looking for those Instagrammable places as well. So I think it is definitely a combination of all of those things.
Okay, so the Instagrammable places are getting oversaturated. You're calling it over-tourism. What can we do to address this if we are wanting to see some of these famous places, but we don't want to get caught in the crowds? What is your advice, Janine?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, over-tourism, not only is it not great for the destination itself, it's not really great when you're visiting as a tourist. I mean, you want to be able to enjoy the place where you're visiting without feeling like you're shoulder to shoulder in crowds. So one thing you can do is travel during what we in the travel industry call the shoulder season. Now, nobody really wants to go to these places in the complete off season when, you're looking for that nice weather. And so the shoulder season is what is typically thought of as kind of that in between the low season and the high season, when you still get nice mild temperatures in a lot of these places, but you get more affordability because there's less crowds. So it's a nice time to visit. So for example, if you're looking at a lot of these European destinations, the spring and the fall are thought of as the shoulder seasons. The summer is when it's crowded, overcrowded, and busy. I took my family to Italy and to Sicily over spring break a couple of years ago, and it was fantastic. The temperatures were in the 70s. It wasn't that, beach weather, but it was nice t-shirt weather. There weren't the crowds at a lot of the sites around, and it was frankly more inexpensive. It was easier to find hotel rooms, whether you're doing that or a home rental. So looking to those shoulder seasons is a great idea. And again, Europe, that's spring and fall. If you're thinking the Caribbean, it's actually summer into fall. Spring, of course, is when a lot of people want to get to those warm weather destinations. So it can depend on the destination when that shoulder season is, but looking to those off times is a really great strategy.
So this over-tourism, obviously it's not fun to be in long lines or overcrowded spaces, but you mentioned how it may not be good for these destinations or these spots to go see. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, yeah, I mean, having too many people in a destination, there's obviously, things like littering and just, too much strain on a lot of these destinations and their resources. So that's how it can kind of, be bad for some of these destinations. Now, another thing to consider is looking for what I'm sure you guys have heard this term because it's become a trend, destination dupes. That is, instead of going to the hotspot, if you want that similar experience, similar ambiance, it's looking to destinations that offer that. So for example, if you want that great European ambiance, those old world cobblestone streets and bistros, look to Quebec City in Canada instead of some of those more popular European destinations. You get a lot of that experience. You can sit outside, enjoy that great music on those cobblestone streets and have all of that ambiance, but without adding to the overcrowding and over-tourism in some of those European destinations. And frankly, it's a 2.5-hour flight over there. It's a lot less expensive to get there. It doesn't take as long. So there can be a lot of reasons why that can be a good one. A couple of other ones we're seeing for destination dupes, Portugal and places like Lisbon are seeing a lot of over tourism. Looking to somewhere like Palermo in Italy and Sicily can be a nice option that doesn't have, that popularity just yet. And you can even find places in the United States that offer similar ambiance to European counterparts. Vail, Colorado is often thought of as a great destination dupe for somewhere like Switzerland or those high alpine European destinations. They have a really great Oktoberfest coming up this fall. They have those Swiss chalet style hotels, a lot of the food that you're going to see in these high alpine European destinations. So you can even stay closer to home and kind of get that same feel.
That's really good advice. I like that idea of
The
the dupe location. I just got back from Florence, actually, and we were taking a little walk, side story here, and spray painted on one of the walls was "Go Home Tourists." So I actually asked a couple of hotel staff and bar staff, like, hey, what's up? Like, where does this anti-tourist stem from? And their answer was, a lot of these big-time tourist destinations, the Airbnb rules there are not favorable to the location. And so they're like, we're not necessarily mad at you guys per se for coming over here. It's the rules here that are saturating the local, hot spots with too many Airbnbs, and so investors are scooping this up. Is my experience in Florence, is that common? Does that surprise you at all, Janine?
It's becoming more and more common. We've seen a lot of that in places like Barcelona and Madrid, in Spain in particular, because they are facing some of those same issues you're talking about, where, for people that have rental homes, they can make a lot more money putting it up as an Airbnb or Vrbo, as opposed to, those long-term rentals to local residents. So we're seeing a lot of people being pushed out. And that's, I think, a lot of the, what you're seeing in terms of people kind of taking it out more on the tourist. Unfortunately, some of the things that we're seeing put in place by local governments and local tourism authorities to kind of manage just tourism in general in some of these places are, we're saying, you'll probably see some of this in the coming years going to especially European and international destinations, or more taxes that will affect the pricing for tourists, additional fees coming into some of these destinations as tourists. We're also seeing that some destinations are capping their guided tours. So you might see limits on how many guided tours there are to places like, the Colosseum in Rome, or some of the more popular places where it's just a constant funnel of tourists coming in through those. So what that can mean for you as a tourist is, if you are planning on going to one of those destinations, you might want to make sure you're booking those types of things even earlier, because there may be less of them. They may be capped. So it may be more difficult if you wait closer to your vacation to find one of those that you're looking for.
That was going to be my question, is what about those people who are locked in with that school schedule, right? You're already booking your spring break destination. How to get ahead of it is just to book it ahead of time, those different tours. So you have your finger on the pulse of all the sales, all the good deals going on. If we're getting into school, as I just mentioned, we're planning out our year. Do you have any suggestions or places that are going to be affordable, really affordable this year, that they should look at?
Well, again, I think a lot of it is really timing. So if you are someone that has the flexibility, maybe you don't have kids that are in school, that's when you want to go, when everyone else's kids are in school. So again, hitting those European hotspots in October and early November is one of the best times that you can go and still have that nice weather, but you don't have the crowds. You find a lot of deals this time of year on airfare, particularly to places like Europe and the Caribbean, which is in its off season. Again, if you're looking ahead to the holidays, traveling over Thanksgiving, over Christmas, and you do have a family and you are stuck to those same dates when everyone else is traveling, I feel that. I have 3 kids, and you don't have that flexibility. Starting to look now is really important. I've already set the dates when we want to travel over Thanksgiving and Christmas into those flight trackers that will track them for you and alert you when you hit those price points that you want to get. So that's really important, is to start looking now and setting those parameters and getting those alerts so that you can jump on those flight deals when you see them.
When do you expect you're going to book your travel for Thanksgiving specifically?
We're looking now. We're traveling to a popular destination in Florida, and I will tell you that flight prices in particular, are really expensive. So if you see something, now's really the time to start locking them in. You know, again, you shouldn't expect over the week of Thanksgiving to see any type of sales or any type of big dips in prices. There's always a little bit of fluctuation, but as we get closer, particularly when you're traveling over a very high demand period where everyone's traveling on just those few days, do not wait for prices to drop, because it's a matter of supply and demand, and the more those planes fill up, the more expensive your tickets are going to get. So now's the time to start looking for those and locking them in if you can.
One more question. You mentioned Palermo, you mentioned Quebec City, a couple of any other destinations that you think are right now still in the safe zone? They're not oversaturated just yet, that you may want to put on people's radar if they're looking to avoid the crowds?
Well, I was actually on the show last week or the week before, and I talked about Western Colorado. So this is another one of my favorite destination dupes for, you know, the Grand Canyon. Grand Junction, Colorado is in Western Colorado. There's the Black Canyon of the Gunnison there, and it is a dupe for the Grand Canyon, which is really busy. There's also Rattlesnake Canyon, which is a great dupe for Arches National Park. It has the second largest concentration of arches in the world. So again, another kind of tip, I guess, is looking for these destination dupes, but also if you're going to some of these bigger cities, you know, if you're going to Florence, for example, and it's really busy, head out to some of those smaller towns outside of these bigger cities and support those smaller local economies in some of these destinations. You often find that without the crowds, you're going to have that more authentic experience and kind of spread out a little bit of the tourism that is in some of these destinations.
All right.
Very
Janine,
good advice. Very good advice.
Expert, yes.
Thanks, Janine. Happy travels to you.
You too. My pleasure.
I've been to that canyon she mentioned in Grand Junction.
Yeah.
The dupe for the Grand Canyon. It is spectacular.
Is it?
Yes.
I feel like you don't really have to go to these extraordinary lengths to see beautiful things.
It's really unbelievable when you get to somewhere like Colorado. You can find just any old, like, unmarked trailhead there will beat anything here in the Midwest.
Right.
Like it's really, you don't need to go to the one that's got all the 5-star ratings on, you know, TripAdvisor.com. You can. She's right. If you just know the general vicinity to go, you can find things that are off the beaten path.
And it's kind of cool sometimes too when you travel places to go to those smaller towns and really get to know like the culture and, you know, the different hotspots for the people who live there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So fun. Such good
Get
advice.
local, everybody. Get local.
Yeah.
And if you're coming to Chicago, if you're visiting, get out of the downtown area. Get into the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Get into the neighborhoods, everybody.
That was your suggestion. I remember that.
The Goddess and the Grocer is a really cool place here in Chicago.
And we've got them
that
right
a
over
lot of locals like to hit up. Goddess and the
Yeah.
Grocer. We got the whole squad here. They're going to be introducing us, and I hadn't even heard the phrase
I
before this
haven't
morning.
either. I don't know what
dirty
it means.
sodas.
Okay.
I've heard of the dirty martini.
Yeah.
Heard of the dirty martini. I'm familiar with that. They're colorful. They're creamy. They're all over TikTok. And we're going to find out exactly what a dirty soda is from the experts at the Goddess and the Grocer when we come back.
10:35, welcome back. So we are very excited about this segment. There's a lot to look at and a lot to get to, but we are talking about dirty sodas with the Goddess and Grocer. So we are joined by Nick Hiddle, he's the coffee lead of the Goddess and Grocer, and Sydney Jews, she's a barista at the Goddess and the Grocer. So these are colorful, creamy, and all over TikTok, but what exactly are dirty sodas? So this sweet trend started in Utah, mixing classic sodas with flavored syrups. So kind of like coffee syrups and a splash of cream. And now it's making waves nationwide, from Swig to Sonic and even coffee creamers on grocery store shelves. Dirty sodas are quickly becoming a cultural phenomenon. So it sounds almost like a soda slash coffee shop. Am I right?
Yeah,
A little bit? Okay, so
How would
let's
you
get
guys
into
define
it.
dirty soda?
I would say a dirty soda it can really be anything. It takes like a sparkling aspect, so like usually it's like a soda, like an orange soda or something like that. We like to use Spindrift, so it's just like
I
sparkling
love
water
Spindrift.
with
Yes.
juice. It's a little lower sugar.
Yeah, and it has that real juice in it too,
yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
real fruit juice.
And then you kind of use that as a base, and then pick whatever flavor you want, add it to it, add whatever modifications you want to it.
Ooh. All right, so Sydney, take us through some of these modifications. This looks like a
matcha?
alchemical laboratory right here. I mean, what do you got here? You got some like utensils and tools and
matcha powder right here.
trinkets.
Yeah, lots of
We
trinkets.
got our Spindrift that we were just talking about as well. Basically, we're using the Spindrift as a base, and the dirty aspect of our dirty soda or our passion fruit matcha spritz is going to be lychee syrup and passion fruit syrup.
What is lychee syrup?
So
Lychee is an Asian fruit that like comes in a like hard spiky shell, and then you peel it, and it's like
I've
this
seen
nice.
these before.
Yeah, they're
They're
little.
like
They're like
clear, almost translucent white color.
they're
Yeah.
almost like alien brains type of things. That's what me and my
Delicious in
friends
a beverage.
Alien
they look like.
brains.
Okay.
But they taste great.
Well, beautiful. Well, what do we got going then? How do we make
Yeah.
it?
So let's start with.
There's your Spindrift,
Spindrift.
Caitlin. I saw you
I love
posted
Spindrift.
Didn't you post a picture of yourself with a Spindrift?
Literally that one yesterday. It's
I'm
very
gonna try
refreshing.
it still. I'm still on the LaCroix
Oh, it's way
train,
better
but
than
like
LaCroix.
I'm hearing all these
With the
things
Spindrift.
about LaCroix and how this is healthier.
And if we could have the matcha
Oh,
whisk.
yes, you can.
Oh, the matcha whisk.
Oh,
Use a little
that's
bit.
what that is.
Yep. And so Sydney's gonna prepare the matcha while I get the syrups ready.
So this is something you could
what
do at home maybe too, huh? Get creative.
For novices as well. What is matcha exactly? There's caffeine in that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
matcha is a really good alternative to coffee, actually. If you feel like you get too jittery on coffee or anxious, I would suggest trying matcha. It's basically a concentrated like green tea, essentially. And that's just what's replacing what would be an espresso shot in a drink.
Cool.
Yum. It's all about some caffeine in my life.
Yeah, it's a lot more of a slow rise of energy.
Ooh, nice. So it doesn't hit you
Yeah.
It's a slow
like a ton
burn.
of bricks. And yeah, a lot of people, when they overdo the coffee just by a little bit, they complain that it makes them jittery and wrecks their whole day.
Yeah.
So matcha is more of a slow build.
Yeah, and
You
a
know,
slow come down too.
I like the smell.
I kind of
by the
feel
way.
like this
I really
is-
like that smell. It's earthy.
Yeah.
Earthy.
Along the vibes of like the sober curious.
Yeah.
People who want to have some fancy drinks. Like when I was pregnant, I remember taking like bubbly waters with some orange juice and some ice and pretending
Kind of like a
this is-
cocktail.
Yeah, like my, wind down beverage. What do they call it? A fridge cigarette? if you
Is
will.
that what-
Yeah, I think.
cigarette?
I thought maybe. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. So,
All
what do we
right.
do now? So you added some different little squeezies. These were the flavors you were talking
Yes.
about?
So I added the passion fruit and the lychee syrups into the Spindrift, and then we just poured the matcha on top. And if you pour it over the ice, you can kind of see how it like sinks in
Yeah.
and
Looks
kind of
like
just like
algae.
floats in.
Which one is this one on your summer sips menu here?
So yeah, this is our passion fruit
hold it up
passion
for you.
fruit lychee matcha spritz.
Oh,
it is a
okay.
mouthful, but
yeah.
it's been very popular throughout the summer so far, along
Cute.
with our other drinks.
We are hearing about Gen Z and how they are gravitating away from booze, like
Yeah.
way more than their generational predecessors. At your locations, are you seeing a rise in popularity with these kinds of beverages?
Yes, we definitely are. Not with just our own handmade beverages, but we also sell a lot of retail beverages, and a lot more they're coming up with different drinks that use different like minerals and stuff to help.
CBD is really
Like
popular
CBD,
as well.
adaptogens, like lion's mane, they use that to kind of simulate a mood lifting effect without
without the booze.
Without the booze.
Which actually just poisons your body. It really does.
So what are these ones? The oranges? Is this another flavor?
So this is just we use as a garnish for the matcha
one?
spritz. So when you just put it on top and then it's ready to serve to the customer.
Do you recommend stirring it up, by the way, or just drinking it like that?
I recommend stirring it up personally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because it can be a little matcha forward if you just sip it when it's on top.
Yeah.
Should we give it a little taste?
Yeah.
Anthony, help yourself.
Should I do that? Okay, and then
Yeah.
Nick, this one right here, is this the watermelon mint?
Yes, that's
Okay.
our watermelon mint Arnold Palmer.
I would love to give this one. Here, Caitlin nominated me for this one.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm more curious about this one.
All right, go
matcha
ahead.
I'm gonna do
flavor.
it. I'm gonna do it.
And this is
I also need a
watermelon
little
mint
pick me
what?
up because
Wait,
Theo and I have
need some
haircuts
too.
after
Can we
this.
get some powder in this one?
Can you
I'm
hook me?
tired. Let's see.
I'm not sick. If you want to share.
Take a sip of both. Oh, that's refreshing. So this is like a little. Is it tea? Is
Yep,
this tea?
so this one's black tea lemonade with
Okay.
watermelon and a mojito mint syrup.
Very refreshing.
I
Yes.
wish I knew about this at the beginning of the summer because this is a great summer flavor. This is delicious.
Is it so? Let me try.
Go
And
for it.
also, then let's get into these snacks too, because I'm also hungry. What is
yeah.
this? What are these?
So these are a brand, woman-owned brand that we sell. They're legally addictive, but that's the
amazing.
brand name.
Oh, that's okay.
They're based on a like homemade snack, I think called Christmas crack. So
Christmas
it's like
crack.
a
Christmas
saltine,
crack.
saltine chocolate
Thank you.
toffee.
Okay, wait.
Easy to make at
Stop.
home.
Wait.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Is that what's in these bags? Are those bags? for
So
it?
these are pretzels. We have a bag right
Oh,
over
that's
here.
your
Legally
Christmas
addictive.
crack?
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
Caitlin,
yeah.
I think
Oh,
you and I
yeah.
are both sold on all this stuff. What's the TikTok
I feel
effect
like.
been like
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
for you guys? Like, we were saying how these are exploding online and everything like that. And do you feel like these are here to stay, or is this a fad that's going to be over in a couple years? What's your take?
I think matcha's definitely here to stay. There was definitely like an uptick in it, I would say, this year.
Yum.
But it's a great alternative, like I said before. And yeah, I mean, TikTok got it right.
Yeah. Can we
Where
talk
can
about
folks find you guys?
what is this?
Yeah.
What locations do you guys have around the city? There's more than one Goddison grocer, right?
Yes, there are. We have three locations in the city. One in Bucktown, one in Fulton Market, and one in Gold Coast. And then we also have a fourth location in O'Hare and Terminal 5. So if you're ever traveling,
Really?
You guys, great
we were
gifts.
just
I was
talking about-
literally just about to say this would be a great present for someone.
Yeah.
A little goodie bag with some of these yummy snacks and maybe a couple of the fun beverages. That's awesome. So I was just looking at this too, by the way, and you were mentioning how like the water is with additives. So this one has adaptogens, herbs, and antioxidants, and it's supposed to calm and hydrate.
Yep.
What other options do people have, like with bubbly waters,
yeah,
to
so
calm yourself, to get yourself excited? What do we got?
yeah, Haywell is a great local brand that we sell. They have a bunch of different flavors that calm. They have uplift. They have restore, kind of like resetting your body. We also have, I mean, they kind of have done it like all.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Run
before
the
we let you
gamut.
go, because we're almost going to get the wrap here. Your own two, each of your personal favorites at the location.
Sour blueberry, that sounds delicious.
It's hard. I
What
love
would
the
you say?
legally addictive. We also sell Pop Daddy, which we don't have out here, but their dill pickle pretzels are insane.
Dill pickle pretzels. You know who's going to love that one, Caitlin, is Natalie Baumke.
Does she love pickles?
She loves snacks in general.
Okay.
An assortment of treats and snacks.
Yeah. I didn't know you could buy matcha by the bag.
And how about you, Nick? What's your own personal favorite? If you were left to your own devices, what would you concoct for yourself, sir?
Oh, you know what? Just because it is almost fall, I think I am in the mood for pumpkin. So I think I might be concocting like a pumpkin dulce de leche latte.
What does that mean? To what's in that?
Pumpkin syrup and dulce de leche, so it's like a caramelized milk syrup.
Ooh,
And
okay.
then this will be a latte, so it will have espresso.
Oh, yep.
And then milk.
Love
Yum.
it. Do you guys work together at the same location, or are you guys at different
We'll
spots?
be working together
Yep,
tonight,
yep.
actually.
Where can folks find you if they want to come by and say hi at Goddess and Grocer?
Yeah, come by our Fulton Market location, 911 West Randolph. We'll be working there tonight.
Making some drinks.
Sweet.
So fun.
Nick and Sydney Juice, thank you guys
What a
both so
treat.
much. I'm hogging this thing. I'm sorry. We
It
can
seems-
share it.
enough.
Caleb.
We have enough. We can make her
Okay.
another one.
Okay.
It seems like a fun thing to do too, like if you had a party, for example, and you wanted to have some beverages and fun little toppings like watermelon and different fruits. You could just set all this out. It doesn't have to be alcoholic, and it's still super fun.
Yeah.
Can kids have matcha, by the way? Do we know this?
Depends on if you want your kid to have caffeine.
It's exactly
Yeah.
right.
My
There is-
9-year-old, he's starting to ask for coffee in the morning. It is
Really?
his piano teacher got him hooked on the coffee flavored, and then now he's doing
Are
it.
you letting him?
From time to time, I let him. I'm
Wow.
like, Theo, you're too young for this, man.
That
But
is so funny.
He likes
Well,
it.
he likes Elvis.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
He's an old
He's an old
soul.
soul,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I love that. Well, the Goddess and the Grocer. Thanks for coming in today, you guys. This was delicious.
Yeah, thank you guys both so much.
Opened our eyes to
you.
different
Really
options.
appreciate it. And we're
Yeah.
back with more Chicago Now right after this.
Welcome back, 1048. If you have a friend that knows how to make an app, you've got a great friend. And we just made one ourselves. This is Charles. He made a friendly, competitive app for friends and family, building up a new streak about CTA writing, transit stats. He's gamified this public transit situation in Chicago. So this app that you created lets you track your total mileage, compete with your friends and other Chicagoans on rideage, and see your overall environmental impact by choosing to take public transit. This is going to take off.
Well, I hope so. It's called Transit Stats, and to give you guys the elevator pitch, it's basically like a fitness tracker, but for public transit, right?
Okay.
So it's an app that, like if you ever use Strava, right, to track your runs, to see your progress
Yes.
as you continue to get better at running, it's kind of like that for public transit. So, you know, it tracks your public transit, it gives you a full ride history, it gives you really in-depth personal stats, and then it lets you compete with other Chicago users on a leaderboard. So it basically turns your daily commute into a game, and it's the only app of its kind, and it's, you know, for now, right here in Chicago.
That's cool. Are you from Chicago? Are you from the area?
I'm not from the area, so one of the important, I guess, inspirations for the app was moving here. I wanted to stop driving, right? And there's only a few cities in the United States where you can actually do that. Chicago being one of them with the CTA.
New York, you could probably do it.
Exactly. San Francisco, you can get away with it, but you know, I ended up in Chicago from Los Angeles
Oh,
originally.
you could never do it in LA.
Not even. Now you get why I want to stop driving. Right?
Right. You've got PTSD.
Exactly. Exactly. So you know, I moved here, sold the car, fell in love with the CTA, and you know, I make software for a living, so one thing led to another, and we get transit stats. So
wow.
Very cool. So how does it work? Do you just download it, and does your phone know that you're on a train or a bus?
So
just automatically, or how does it work?
It can't track you like that. I don't want to collect that much data from our users. Just you know, safety, a safety sort of thing. So you can do it one of two ways. When you get on a train or bus, you could just hit start, and it'll track your ride and automatically pick up what train or bus you're on. Or if you don't want to worry about it while you're traveling, you can just log a ride afterwards. You know, you set the date and time, you say which line, which your starting point, and it'll auto estimate the time and distance, and there you go, your ride's added to the system.
So when it comes to making an app, I have so many questions. So you said that you program these things, this is your job. How did you start? Like even down to, I'm sure on the app you have an avatar or something that you can pick. Can you like walk us through the process in elementary terms and how you make an app from the bottom up?
So I'll do my best. So once again, like this is what I do for a living outside of this, so that helps a lot, right?
Sure.
But it started with an idea and some sketches, and then I designed the whole thing in a design program. So I have like a nice outline of you know how it would look and how it would work. Then I got to build the back end, where all the data is stored, how all these things work, and then you tie that back end to the front end, which is a lot easier said than done, and submit it for approval on the App Store and Play Store, and there you go. So,
no way.
Like it took about 4 or 5 months from start to finish.
That's it?
That's a lot quicker than most apps.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's
Phenomenal.
it. It's easier said than done, but with today's modern AI tools and all that stuff, you can speed the process up, and it's a lot more accessible for people who are not professionals, so, which is great.
I heard this interview, the author's name is Jane McGonigal, and she wrote this whole book about I was telling Caitlin this before you came on, gamifying your life and how it can be, it can basically be a fun way to become kind of more engaged in your surroundings, to meet goals, that kind of thing. Just wondering what kind of benefits you see, because you're kind of gamifying public transit. It's it's kind of a wild idea, but so like what were the seeds of that idea, and why does it motivate people to like make things a game?
Yeah, I guess, so you buy your Venture Pass, right? A lot of people pay monthly, and the way I originally conceived of the idea was I started tracking like how many rides I'm taking on a monthly basis to see if I'm getting the value out of that pass in my Notes app. Then I went on the App Store and I looked for something to do it, and it didn't exist, so that's kind of where the inspiration came to be. As far as you spoke about gamifying, in the app we have achievements, we have ride streaks, and at least personally, that's a lot of the motivation to get back on the app and keep taking the CTA as well as the environmental aspect of things. So gamification is definitely a huge motivator for me in terms of where it's going development-wise and why I like to use it.
So you said ride streaks. So are there like different coins that you get, or like how do you, a point basis, how do you win, and what do you win on your app if you're facing your friends or family?
So right now we're not winning anything. It's just bragging rights, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as ride streaks going, it's kind of just like Snapchat. Every day in a row, you take a ride and you log it, your ride streak ticks up by 1, and there's a certain number of achievements that you can unlock once you reach certain ride streaks. 3 days, 7 days, you can see how that can go on and on and on. Right now there's no prizes. Hopefully I can get something going like that in the future.
Get sponsored by the CTA.
Hopefully, that's the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you heard from the CTA about this?
Not yet, but I'm hoping this thing will send an email to me or something like that.
What's the status update? Do you have users that are actually coming up with streaks right now? Are you just now getting it off the ground? Paint a picture for the playing field as it stands today.
Right, so it's been public for about 3 weeks.
Okay.
And it's doing better than expected. I'm almost to 700 users in 3 weeks.
That's good.
Which is a lot more than expected,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Little stressful, but it's up and running. There's been no crashes, which is great. And I'm hoping to grow that and improve this experience here in Chicago.
What is it called? It's the Transit Stats?
It's called Transit Stats, and it's available on the App Store and Play Store. So if you have Android or iPhone, it's there for you.
Free download?
Free download.
Down the road, are you thinking about maybe adding in, like you said, tracking your steps, like putting in like a walking portion? Or
That would be fantastic, because a lot of people are walking to the train, walking to the bus, then walking from the stop to their job.
Yeah.
I could see how that could integrate perfectly.
Listen,
there you go.
CTA leadership, if you see this segment, this could be good. You gamify the whole thing. You put, I always think you guys should do competitive weathercasting, you versus Kaplan.
Right.
You know what I mean? No. But
we're on the same
Caitlin
team.
won. Yeah, exactly. We're all on the same team here. But imagine that. Like, hey, we're going for a ride streak. That could boost ridership, and maybe they'll step in.
Or maybe certain days you go, like,
Yes.
if you go to this stop on this day,
That's
you get
extra
a bonus
points.
or something.
If you take, if you
South
take the
Shoreline
CTA
train,
on
you can drop that in there.
New Year's Eve or something to avoid drunk driving.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
all kinds of possibilities.
Avatars,
Absolutely.
you can decorate your own avatar.
And the environmental impact thing is huge.
Yeah.
Seeing, the CO2 emissions you're saving by choosing the bus or train over driving, and what that equals in terms of like hours of LED lights, smartphone charges. Like, we
Right.
have all that kind of interesting stuff in the app as
Well,
well.
they could easily do too, like, okay, you put in so many miles, then you get a free pass for the month.
Absolutely, and
That's the
especially
dream.
if they're considering things like congestion pricing and paying tolls to get on, into the. You know how like New York has done
Right.
that, where you have to
Right.
actually pay more to
Yes.
even bring your car
Yeah.
Right.
to certain areas of the city. So
Yeah.
this could incentivize people even more to
I
do
love
what
it.
you did
Your
and
future is bright. kid.
get rid of the car,
so.
right?
Yeah.
All right, Charles. Congratulations to you.
Yes.
Good luck.
So
700
exciting.
users.
That's great.
I mean, hopefully it can keep growing.
That's really big.
Yeah,
We have a couple seconds, but what do you know how you got like those first 700 users? Is it all like word of mouth, or did you like call every person in your Rolodex?
Right. I don't have 700 friends, unfortunately, but I put out some TikToks that gained a little traction, and the CTA community on Reddit really liked it. So that's kind of where the initial
Okay.
boost
we love
came
Reddit
from.
here.
Yeah, we love Reddit here. Okay, the app is called Transit Stats. Just go to the App Store, download away. Let's
You heard it here
gamify
first.
our commute.
Yeah.
Caitlin.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for
you
coming
guys so
in.
much.
All right, we're inching toward 11 o'clock when Caitlin and I hand off the baton. I saw Tia Ewing walk into studio.
Tia's ready. She's ready.
Yes, superstar Tia Ewing. I'm gonna keep drinking my
Yeah, I wanna try
matcha.
my what is
You
this?
got this.
The sour blueberry
Which I
United
think was
sodas.
one of their favorites. Got us in the grocer. Our new friends here.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for yet another hour. This Tuesday edition of Chicago Now.
Cheers.
Download Transit Stats. Have a great rest of your morning, and Caitlin and I will see you right back here tomorrow.
welcome to the 11 edition, is what I call it, the 11 o'clock hour of Chicago Now. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
You had a well-deserved vacation, didn't you?
It was great.
Perfect.
I call it a staycation. I thought my husband was going to do something where we ended up out of town, but I'm so happy that he did not.
I thought you were going to be announcing like you went to,
No.
I don't know, Iceland or
I'm
something
so
like
thankful that he
with
did
all
not
the
do
other trips
that.
You've done. Well, I'm glad that it was a staycation.
Yeah, it was a staycation, and it was much needed.
Okay.
Sometimes you just need to stay local.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Especially with sometimes, having kids.
Yeah.
You know, it takes so much energy. You just need a couple days to chill.
Just
Were
relax.
there any events that you guys went to though?
Yeah, we went to the Bears game. That was really fun. They won, so let's hope that that continues throughout the season.
It will.
That was really fun. And what was really cool, we ended up on the Jumbotron. My husband tried to redo the Coldplay moment.
No way.
It was so goofy. It was so goofy.
Can we work on in the back, guys, trying to get that
The
up?
video
Do you
up.
mind, Tia?
We'll get it up later.
Okay. Well, maybe at the end of the show we can have a big
Yeah.
reveal. Well, I'm so glad that you had a good time.
Yeah, we had a really good time. So we got to talk about what's coming up on the show. We have a jam-packed show today. We're going to talk to a comedian who has 120,000 followers on Instagram, but not just that, really a legacy in comedy. And I'm talking about Alonzo Bowden. If you don't know who he is, wait till you see him. I'm sure it will ring a bell when you see his face. He's absolutely hilarious. And then we're going to talk to a young man who was able to amass $8 million in scholarship money right from the south side of Chicago, lives in Beverly. I'm really looking forward to that interview because I find that to be very impressive, very motivational too for young people that will be watching.
He's a fraction of that. So to know that he probably did all this back work and got all those scholarships, hopefully
Impressive.
others can do the same.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, so we got to talk RushTok.
Yeah.
RushTok. We talked about it. What was it? A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks, something like
Yeah,
that.
in Alabama, this is a big thing in terms of Bama RushTok, and we have Brandis, who is back with us. Brandis Bradley. I hope I got the name right. I think I got it right.
think you did.
I asked her last time, did she make sweet tea? She told me no. She didn't like her sweet tea sweet. What's up?
So keep that a secret. I told you that kind of information can ruin me in the South.
You know what? We haven't shared it
With
anyplace
anyone
other
else.
than here.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
our
It's
loyal
safe with us.
ChicagoNOW viewers. All right, so
I just worry we've got viewers watching down south, and if that's the case, y'all are gonna have to let me move in with y'all. I'm gonna have to move north. I can't.
I would
can't
love for you to
resist
move
down here
in.
with people.
I mean, your face
The
is
shame.
always done up. Your hair always looks good. Your outfits. You would be a great person, I would think, to live with. Would you consider?
You know, all this maintenance comes with mess, right? So probably not. Yeah, my vanity is not pristine, to say the least.
I think you're doing just fine in that department. Let's talk RushTok. How did it work out?
Yes.
How's it been going? Any big surprises?
Well, I mean, it's over, which, you know, I guess that's never a surprise. We always know that that's coming. But I've had a revelation this year. I'm completely deflated. And I realize I crash out every year at the end of Bama Rush. And this year I've had a revelation. I think it's because the important part, it's like anything else in life, the important part is the journey, not the destination. So we reached our destination. All of our girls ran home to their sorority houses, and it's over. And now what are we supposed to do? Just wait till next year? It's worse than
start
Christmas.
doing your research for next year.
Yeah,
if
for
you
next
can.
year.
You're the
Yeah, I'm
person
sorry,
we
what'd you
look
say?
to. You have to start doing your research for next year if you can, Brandis.
I know. I'm going to have to really dig deep because I'll tell you, here's a new development. One thing I noticed this year on RushTok is that there are certain sororities on Alabama's campus that there didn't seem to be a lot of the girls who were posted on social media. I didn't see many of those girls getting bids to those houses. And there has been rumors swirling that certain sororities at the University of Alabama are encouraging potential new members not to post on social media. And I find it very interesting that there were a lot of sororities that were not represented on social media on bid day, because I guess the girls who wanted bids to those houses heeded that advice and they didn't post all week. We didn't get to know them. And that kind of makes me sad.
Yeah, why do you think that is?
You know, I don't know. I'm torn. There's a cynical part of me that believes it's because this whole secret society atmosphere of sorority life, we don't want to let anybody in, hyper exclusive, don't post, don't tell anybody anything about us. You got to be special to be in our club and know what's going on. That's the cynical part of me. And then there's like a practical, legal part of me because I am a lawyer by trade. I'm thinking, it's a liability, it's a PR risk. You don't want these girls putting a bunch of stuff out on social media and then give them a bid to your sorority. And then all of a sudden, whatever they're doing on social media is going to reflect poorly on your sorority. And then there's just, I guess maybe it's my feminist take on the whole thing. It bothers me. I want to tell you the truth. It really bothers me because I feel like we're not platforming these girls when we should. And I think more women's voices need to be heard. More women's faces need to be platformed. It doesn't sit well with me, anything that tries to suppress attention on women, especially if they want it. Like, I want the girls to stand up and be heard, to be seen, and to encourage them not to platform themselves or their voices. It kind of bothers me, girls.
Yeah, well, I think what's interesting about what you're saying is the last time we spoke, we talked about how kind of lifting that veil is what had so many people interested. And so do you think this changes the allure of people being interested in Bama RushTok if they stop posting on social media?
I think it runs a risk. And every year people say they're telling them not to post. Bama Rush is over. Nobody's going to be posting anymore. Everybody, all the sorority houses are telling them not to post. And I've been sitting back saying that is never going to happen because this is a marketing gold mine. You've just got to think what it does for enrollment at the University of Alabama to have the entirety of TikTok taken over by highlights from their university. Every single year, nobody gets the attention on them that the University of Alabama gets during Rush Week. And there are thousands of kids who enroll at the University of Alabama with hopes of making it on Bama RushTok. So I'm thinking this is so ignorant to forgo this marketing opportunity here. Number one, they don't have to pay for it. It's how many millions of dollars worth of advertising are they getting for the university here? I'm like, they're never going to get rid of this because it's too big of a marketing tool. But then this year happens and I'm like, maybe they don't want our marketing. Are they in such a place of privilege that they don't need it? Which then feeds into the cynical stereotype of Greek life, right? So I don't know. However, if here's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned the Bama RushTok crowd is going to migrate to a different university that isn't so buttoned up, because we see a lot of schools making a splash on TikTok this year. We've got the University of Arkansas, we've got College of Charleston in South Carolina, we've got Florida State University, Arizona State University. I mean, lots of colleges are. I'm sorry, what now?
That's straight from Mama Darnell.
We're actually watching your own video that still has audio.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, I think maybe if Alabama sororities keep suppressing content by encouraging potential new members not to post content if they want to get a bid to their sorority, I'm afraid RushTok might migrate to another university, and maybe they'll appreciate what they had when they lose it to another university, because that's got to be just a priceless marketing tool. Think about that. Could you imagine getting that kind of publicity for your program for free on social media for 10 days straight every year?
Right.
It blows my mind.
Yeah, but it makes it where it's then competitive, which could be an interesting platform, to see it on if it is like a competition kind of thing going on. Did anybody, in your opinion, really stand out this time around on social media?
Izzy Darnell stole the show, and that there's polarizing views on Izzy as well. She is the little sister of Kylan Darnell, the queen of Bama Rush, and Izzy is a freshman in college this year. She went to Alabama and she decided to go through sorority recruitment. She went through until the last round of sisterhood, and then she dropped. And it was a big scandal. There are people who are saying that Izzy just used this as a self-promotion tool to hit 1 million followers, because Izzy actually hit 1 million followers on TikTok during Rush this week.
Wow.
And they just thought it was, a vain exercise in self-promotion. And then, but there's Mama Darnell, their mother, who was saying, no, Izzy was interested. Unlike Kylan, she wasn't sure if it was for her, but she wanted to give it a go. So that's what she did. And then a few days in, she realized this ain't for me. And if you follow Izzy on social media, I think you would agree this ain't for her. And I'm actually proud of Izzy for not going through with it if she knew it wasn't what she wanted. Izzy kind of has a edgy, rebellious persona on social media, and that's not going to play well, or they're not going to put up with that at a sorority in Alabama. So it's probably smart on Izzy's move not to go through with it. But I think the whole Izzy Darnell show stole RushTok this year, and people are very divided on how they feel about it.
Well, she's stunning. That dress we
gorgeous.
just showed her in was absolutely amazing. What do you think about the fact that, I think we kind of hit on this last time, that so many of these young women, they really create a lane of their own by, expressing themselves on social media, putting themselves out there, which sometimes is really hard to do because sometimes it comes with a lot of applause, but a lot of times it comes with criticism. What do you think about that? And you still are going to college every day.
Yes, well, I've been thinking about that too. These girls, think about it, they are so brave. And I think that's why I admire the girls who actually step up to the plate and post their content every year, because those girls know what they're getting into. They know they're going to get a lot of love, and I think they do it a lot for that, because my whole purpose on RushTok is to hype these girls up, cheer them on, encourage them, get people to rally around them. I want to celebrate these young women, empower and uplift them. There is a lot of that, and I think the girls do appreciate that and benefit from that, and that motivates them to post. However, one thing that is inevitable, if you are going to put yourself on the internet, you are going to get trolled, you are going to get ugly, hateful comments. Every single girl that posts on RushTok gets it. So you got to think about how brave it is for these girls to post in the first place. And I think that's why there's such a special place in my heart for these girls that have the courage to do it, and for the sororities that don't seem to discourage it, because what's happening is we are honoring bold, brave, outspoken women when we accept them into our sisterhood after they have put themselves out there for the world to scrutinize.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
We see some of these videos of them opening up those envelopes, and they just seem so excited. For people at home who are not really that familiar, you get this bid, and that's the moment, right, where they're finding out what sorority they have been entered into, right?
Yeah. That's their sisterhood. That's their home for the next 4 years. That's what the whole week is all about, that moment. But like I said, it's always anticlimactic for me because, we build the whole week as this leading up to this moment of opening that envelope and getting that bid. And I've noticed, looking back on every day I open TikTok, I get memories from the year before. And I realized, oh my gosh, this happens every year. I crash out at bid day every single year. And I think it's because it's just anticlimactic, because all of a sudden they get a bid and it's over. And I guess I don't want it to end because it's so much fun, right? But no, that is the goal, to get the bid at the end of the week. And the girls are so excited to open those envelopes, and we get to watch them rush home. And then a lot of them, we never hear from them again. So that kind of makes me sad too. I'd like to be able to keep up with them a little bit better.
Yeah, it sounds like a documentary is in the making about this. Let me ask you this. When we talk about RushTok, we usually talk about Bama and we talk about the South. Do you think there's any future in talking about RushTok in the Midwest or on the East Coast or the West Coast?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. I'm already seeing it. Well, I'll tell you what, Mizzou is another one that has it popped off a little bit last year, and it's popping off this year as well. But Arizona, I've seen stuff from Iowa. Yeah, well, I guess not as many, but we're seeing more. But I think every year we're going to see more schools hopping on this trend. Number one, it's fun. Number two, it's brilliant and cheap marketing, not only for the sorority, but for the university that it's attached to, and another thing too is I think we are still working on building respect and credibility in social media careers. I think a lot of people still like to discount and discredit the talent and hard work it takes to make it on social media. And I think that may play a part in what's happening in some of these Southern schools where they're discouraging girls from sharing their Rush experience on social media. I think that's part of this whole, we don't know if we want to give credence to this platform as a profession. But that has to change because social media is the future of marketing, and people are going to have to get on board or they're going to get left behind. It's true.
Well, it is true. And to your point, I think a lot of times people are discouraged too, because not only are you thinking about the sorority in the sorority house, right? But you got to think long term. And unfortunately, a lot of times we've heard from older people, especially older adults, you got to be careful what you put on social media. You want to become a nurse, you want to become a doctor, you want to become a journalist. And so I do think at times that kind of prevents people from being their true self and true expression on social media, like you're saying.
Yeah. I think there is a balance, though, of being able to put, the public facing version of yourself on social media and still being true to who you are without, revealing all your, without showing all the skeletons in your closet or showing the worst parts of yourself. But if you are a content creator who consistently posts content every day, you do run the risk of, saying something in the moment that may reflect poorly on you down the road. Also, you got to think too, how much have you changed since you were 18 years old? When I was 18, I thought I wanted to marry a preacher and have 5 kids. I am 43. I've never been married. I've never given birth. I raised a daughter, but she's my niece, technically. I didn't give birth to her. So, I'm nowhere near the woman I thought I'd be when I was 18 years old. So that's another thing too. Like, if we're going to encourage, social media is going to be the future of marketing. We're going to have to show people a little grace and allow them the prerogative to change over the course of time. We can't be pulling up stuff from 20 years ago just to cancel and hurt people. You got to give people a chance and an opportunity to evolve, because I don't think anybody is the same person at 43 that they are at 18. I'm the farthest thing from it.
Brandis, remind us, you had a show come on that you were a part of, right? The last time we chatted with you. How did that go? How was the response from that episode?
Oh my gosh, it was great. And people are loving it and I love it too. And I'm telling you, the most beautiful part of our show, A Sorority Mom's Guide to Rush, it's on Lifetime. It's about the relationships between moms and daughters. And that is truly the most beautiful part of this show. It just happens to take place in the context of Sorority Rush, but it is just so heartwarming to see these mothers and daughters interacting with each other, navigating this experience together. It's beautiful. It really is.
What I love most about what you said was that I love that part about the moms and the daughters, but I also did not miss the fact that you said you were almost a first lady. And I can totally see you being the first lady of a church.
Yes, I swear. Well, no, listen, I dated a boy who was a preacher when I was a teenager. I come from Eastern Kentucky, and our preachers didn't necessarily go to seminary or, theology school, but we would have boys who were like teenagers who said they were called to preach, and they would put them up in the pulpit and let them start preaching. So I started dating this boy who was a preacher, and would you believe he broke up with me and told me that the Lord had called him to preach, he needed a preacher's wife, and that he could just tell that I was not the kind of woman that would make a good preacher's wife, because a good preacher's wife needed to be seen and not heard, and he didn't think I could ever do that because I was too loud.
Because you were too loud. You are.
Yeah, and thank God.
Spicy.
Thank God for that, right? And now I have a clothing line called Brandis Dress Out Loud on QVC. I have to wonder wherever that boy is. I hope he's flipping through the channels one day and he sees, who is that girl? I recognize her. Brandis Dress Out Loud. Oh, that's that girl. I told her she was too loud to be a preacher's wife. I hope he remembers that. But he was right. I am too loud.
Check your DMs. They always come back.
Yeah, they do. Always come back.
All right, Brandis, one more time, let us know where we can find you on social media.
I'm on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. My name, of course, is Brandis Bradley. My handle is a makeup artist at law. And of course, I'm on QVC every now and then with Brandis Stressed Out Loud. If you go looking for me, you'll find me. Plus, how many Brandises do you know? Type in Brandis. I'll probably be the only one that pops up. There are very few of us out there.
I got to ask you this before we let you go. Are you dating? Are you still single?
No, I have given up. I have, as we say, I thrown in the towel on dating. I don't do it anymore. And you know what? I've never been happier in my life.
Okay.
You're glowing, so I can tell.
Yeah, you are glowing.
That's true freedom right there. Just finally letting it go. You know, I don't have to shave my legs. You know, I don't have to take care of anybody else.
You don't have to pluck your chin hairs. I get it.
This is the life right here. The single life. It's totally underrated.
You make it look so good, Brandis. You really do.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again next year, okay?
Yes, you all are so much fun. You'll be my favorite interview all season. Thank you.
We love to hear that.
We love you. So
yeah.
Come back anytime and come back in person.
In person, yes.
Yes, let's do it.
Chicago. And bring us some sweet
Thank
tea.
You all.
Yeah.
Bring us some sweet tea when you come.
Unsweet, I told you unsweet.
I know. I have to tease you about it. All right, have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye, Chicago.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
She's always so much fun.
She's always so awesome. And really breaks it down for us because we were talking, both you and I, we try to keep up a little bit with RushTok, but it is hard. There's a lot of stuff up there. There's a lot of trends to keep up on.
Yeah.
So Brandis is here for the rescue.
She's always fun. So we have Aaron Williams coming up a little later in our show. He's local, right to Chicago, $8 million in scholarships. But first, we got to talk to Alonzo Bowden. We'll have him. He is a legendary comedian, and we'll have a conversation with him right after this break. Are you ready?
Please.
Try it. Try to laugh.
I'm nervous.
They're over there looking like, what's happening?
No, that's not it. You were way better. You were way better.
All right, well, be prepared to laugh. That is because we are talking to one of the finalists from NBC's Last Comic Standing, who actually won season 3, Alonzo Bowden. He's done so much in his career. I can't even name it all. But Alonzo, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. Good morning or good afternoon. I'm not sure.
It's the morning here. I understand. So September 7th, you have a show here. Tell us what people can expect to see. I saw something on social media where you were talking about people thinking that the government's following them or watching them.
Oh, I love conspiracy theories. I love anyone who thinks, oh, you know, Bill Gates is tracking me. Let me tell you something. Bill Gates has $100 billion to keep track of. He's not looking for you. And if just a note in case Bill's watching, if you have $100 billion and you're looking for me, I'll be easy to find. I'll stop by the house.
I love it. Find me too while you're at it.
Okay, you know, you must have so many wild stories. That's the first thing I always think of when we're chatting with famous comedians like yourself. What are some of the wildest experiences that you've had when you're on stage or off stage
or on the road?
Well, let's see. What can I talk about on TV in my wild experiences? I think the funniest thing is getting heckled. I just had an experience. I was down in Austin, Texas, and I was doing a bit, and I was heckled by an Asian guy, and I said, only in America can a black comedian get heckled by an Asian guy in Texas. I loved it. It was a great moment.
That is hilarious. What about on the road? Have you ever had maybe a fangirl come up to you and you're trying to get away? Has it ever happened? You should see our crew.
Well,
they're laughing at our questions behind the scenes.
No, I think you've been following me because I actually had a stalker. But here was the thing. My stalker was 5'2". I'm 6'3", 260 pounds. Whoa. She followed me. I walked into the police station. I said, this woman's stalking me. They didn't quite believe it.
Oh, yeah, because of how little she is compared to how tall you are. I didn't know you were that tall.
Yes, I am. I'm sitting down right now, so you can't tell. But trust me, I'm 6'3" in flats.
I don't know if you heard us, but did we do well with mimicking your laugh?
I'm sorry?
Did we do well with mimicking your laugh? I don't know if you were able to hear us before, but Tia tried to get me to mimic your laugh. Do it again, Tia, for him.
You ready?
I appreciate that, Tia, but mine's a little deeper.
It's a little deeper.
See, there's a tone thing that you don't quite have. I have that voice. And everyone tells me, man, you have a great voice. How come you don't do voiceovers? Well, I don't know. There was a guy named James Earl Jones. Now there's a guy named Keith David. Now there's a bunch more famous voices deeper than mine. I can't get any work. But if you can find me a job laughing, I'll be happy to do it.
You know, Alonzo, when I was looking through your videos, I heard you say talk a lot about doing old guy stuff. What does that mean?
I am officially an old guy. This is when I knew I was an old guy. I caught myself looking for my iPhone with the light from my iPhone. Okay, that's old guy stuff.
I've done that. So what
does
that mean?
Tell us
old
more.
Girl?
Tell us more. I love that kind of stuff.
That's the kind of thing that when your knees hurt because you think about getting up. I'm at the age that where I drop something, I got to think, is it worth it? Honestly, these old knees are like, you know what? It's less than $5. We'll just buy another one. I'm sorry. I'm not going.
Why not get the grabber?
Less than $5 isn't worth the risk.
Why not get the grabber? You know, the grabber where, like, if you drop something, you can pick it up within reach?
Yeah, I'm not that old yet. That's over 70. Over 70 is when you start using aids and appliances. Come on, don't age me that much.
What can people see if they come out to your show? Already you're a good time.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. I don't know if you've noticed, but we seem to be collectively losing our minds, and just the dumbest things seem to be winning. I was in a store. I was looking for mothballs for the closet, another old guy move. I asked the guy where the mothballs were. He asked me how to spell moth. I was more curious as to how would you misspell moth? That's what I'm wondering about. It is a constant barrage. My car always asked me, is there anyone in the back seat? When I was growing up, my dad was yelling at us in the back seat so much, I'm pretty sure he didn't forget we were back there. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about. We're going to have a great time, Chicago.
Let's talk about this. You've done a lot of shows that have actually ended up on our TV screens, Amazon, Showtime, Helium Studios. How do you prepare for the big stage like that? Do you prepare the same way that you would for just featuring at a comedy club?
Well, I dress a little nicer, but beyond, it's constant preparation. You know, I love comedy. I love stand-up. I'm always working, and I have a lot of friends who are musicians, and the big difference between being a comic and a musician is all my rehearsals are on stage. So I'm constantly preparing. I can't go in studio for 4 months and then come out with a new special. I'd come out with a new special of jokes that have never been tested and find out 1/3 of them aren't funny. So yeah, the preparation is constant. I'm recording another special next year, and I'm in the preparation stage now, just doing new material, seeing what people laugh at, what people respond to. The toughest thing going on is our news cycle is so crazy. As a comedian, I got to work every day just to stay ahead of reality.
Yeah, no, that's
kidding.
true, because we cover it, so we know.
Okay, I have a question because I love hearing stories, and it sounds like you're the best storyteller we've had in a while. You've shared the stage with a lot of people, like Jay Leno, I know for sure. Is there a performance or a late night moment that's kind of like stood out to you that you could share with us?
Oh, I've had a few of them. I think my favorite moment with Jay Leno, and you have to understand, Jay, with all his celebrity, is a very ordinary guy. Like we talk cars and motorcycles, as you know, he's a gearhead, I'm a gearhead, things like that. And Jay, he kind of forgets he's Jay. So we were talking one time, and he said to me, "Oh, you know the Obamas, right?" Jay, how would I know the Obamas? I am very flattered that you think I'm rolling in circles where I would bump into Barack Obama. But no, Jay, I checked my bank balance. There wasn't $100 million in there, and I wasn't invited to the White House lawn. But thank you. That was that was a moment. I've laughed with Conan. When I did Conan, Charlize Theron was on, and as you know, she's an incredibly gorgeous actress that changes her look for movies, and she can really play down her beauty and so on. And he and I were talking about how many actresses can't get work because this stunning beauty decided, oh, I'm going to look average this time.
Let me ask you this, being that you're a comedian, being that you travel still, you're still on the road, how does that impact your everyday life? Do you have a personal life? Are you married?
I am single. I am married to comedy. She and I have been together 33 years, and I got to be honest with you, she gets somewhat jealous of other women. So I'll be dating, things will be going okay. Next thing you know, I'm on the road, I'm never home. Women have this thing of they actually want to see you. It's kind of demanding, I tell you. I do have a relationship with the TSA. Yes, they like to random check me, and there's nothing more fun than being random checked by name. Hey, Alonzo, how you doing, man? You're really funny. Could you step over here and strip down? Why, thank you.
Yeah, but that might be fun if you're single.
Oh.
Okay, let's try to keep this G-rated. We're on TV in the middle of the morning. What is wrong with you ladies?
You know what? There's no limit here, Alonzo.
At least not with my mind.
Trust me. Oh my gosh. Okay, so for the show, what can people expect? Or I guess, like, how would you sum up your comedic voice, you know, in one line for people? What can they expect when they see you live?
If I had to be defined, I would say observational. I find the world funnier than me, so I'm looking at the world and laughing at that, although I do turn it around on myself and do some personal stuff. But yeah, I'd say if I had to be in a category, it would be observational.
Are you calling people out in the crowd? Like when you're in a, I don't know, big theater, are you like saying, oh, that person in the front row, like so-and-so has a big nose? I don't know. Are you calling people out like that?
Oh, yeah, you know, the big nose comments, you get canceled. And by the way, I'd like to get canceled because every time Dave Chappelle gets canceled, he gets another $10 million from Netflix. So if you could do anything to help cancel me, I could use the money. But I am so comfortable in front of a crowd. I actually had a therapist, and by the way, all comics have therapists. It comes with the job. She pointed out that I am more comfortable talking to 100 or 1,000 people than I am talking to one stranger. And she's probably right. So yeah, I'm perfectly at home in front of the crowd, but if I meet you on the street, it might be a little awkward.
You've done very well in front of this crowd. It's been a pleasure. People can go get tickets still for your show, September 7th at the Den Theater. Alonzo, it's been great. Where can people follow you on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram at ZoFunny. You can go to AlonzoBowden.com. Listen, you can just Google Comic Alonzo, and it's either going to be me or Christella Alonzo. and I'm much taller than Christella. You'll recognize me.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, thank you so much for being
Alonzo,
with us.
thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. I'll see you soon, Chicago.
We'll
Come
see
back
you
in
soon.
person, okay?
Yeah,
we'll
we
save
need
you
to
a
see you in
seat. We'll
person.
save you a seat. We say that to everyone, but especially you.
See you later. He was hilarious.
Oh my gosh. I love talking to comedians.
Me too.
It's the best. And okay, September 7th, Den Theater.
Yeah.
Got it, Alonzo.
Yeah, that'll be great. Okay, also great. We got to talk $8 million. I think this is just phenomenal. We probably need to talk to Mom too. I know she's not going to be on camera with us, but she has to be part
She needs
of
to
this
make her
magic,
appearance,
right?
yeah.
We are talking to Aaron Williams. He has amassed $8 million in scholarship money. He's going to Northern Illinois University, and we're going to talk to him right after this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This was one of those stories that I saw, and I was like, can we please get this young man on the show? And joining us right now is Aaron Williams, $8 million in scholarship, but you already got a full ride to Northern Illinois University. You told me you want to study electrical engineering. I mean, how the heck did you do it? That got to be some discipline to get $8 million in scholarships.
Well, to start it off, they don't know, but most students don't know that your academic journey starts from the very beginning. So I started establishing a good academic resume as soon as I got into my freshman year at Bowden Computer Technical High School. When I first got there, I was very bold, and I was kind of introverted, but mostly extroverted. So I came to the principal and the dean, and I told them that I would be the valedictorian of my class, and it was safe to say I actually accomplished that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, where did your drive come from? Is it your mom, who's a former principal?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, my mom, she's a former educator as well. So having an educator down your back, she always pushes me to achieve better things, and always wants me to stay on top of my things, both academically and physically. So just having that motivation and her on my back.
I love that you said on my back. So mom was making sure that you were meeting the deadlines and everything. You have a twin sister. You're both going to NIU. What did you have to go through to apply for these scholarships? Were you like looking at a calendar and like, okay, I got to apply for this one on Tuesday. I got to tell me about that part.
Well, I started looking more into the scholarship aspect of the universities on my junior and senior year. So junior year, we started doing a little bit of research covering what different scholarships I was applicable for, because there's scholarships out there for everything. I'm a left-handed person, and that's not very common, so they got stuff for that. They also have stuff based off your major, so STEM-related scholarships and fraternity, sorority-based scholarships, and different prestigious scholarships that like look at you basically on how you can maintain that work-life balance. Because along with becoming a valedictorian, I also was the captain of a volleyball team, president of 2 organizations, just showing them that you're balanced and that you can maintain that work-life balance. That's what they're really looking for as well. So that I also helped open up my what I was available to. If that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. So I guess the question is, how many scholarships did you get that amounted to that amount of money?
This is accumulated based off like some is like scholarship money that goes to me, and also academic scholarships. So I would say like I can only name a few because I don't remember all of them. I know I was awarded a semi-finalist scholarship for the National Honor Society. That was on a national level, so it was an honor to even be chosen because thousands of kids applied for that, and just to know that they saw me and my potential and awarded me for that, that's nice. Also, I want to say I was a recipient of the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity scholarship, so they helped me as well. And it's one more important one. I cannot. Oh, the Bud Billiken.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Yes.
That just happened too.
Yes, that just occurred. Yeah.
That's really fascinating.
You're such an inspiration. I think you can also be a great resource for people at home who are watching, whether they know a young person who's just going to high school or maybe they're getting closer to the college years. So this is a fully loaded question, but what is your biggest piece of advice to young people who are entering high school and maybe they want to take the same path as you, but they don't even know how to start?
My advice, because I know I have a lot of friends that just entered, it would be to don't let this time pass you by, because I feel like I just got into high school because I'm a very emotional person, so I really don't like leaving places when I get accustomed to it. So my advice for them would be to make sure you surround yourself with like-minded people, and that one relationship can take you a long way, because you never know who has connections or who can vouch on your behalf or who can just speak about the type of person or your type of character. You never know what that will lead you to, and always make sure you're open to going out there to network and making sure you establish that academic resume, because everything counts. I've been blessed enough not to receive 1 B in my entire academic career. So just making sure you surround yourself with those like-minded people and making sure that you establish those connections while you're a freshman or a sophomore, because later on, those connections are gonna mean everything.
I hope my kids are listening. Okay, so let me ask you this. What website would you tell people to go and look for scholarships, or is there a book that people can pick up?
It's a few. I know one thing that a website that helped me most specifically would probably be School Links or Niche, because School Links, most Chicago public school students are introduced to School Links, and they give you like a rundown of what scholarships are out there and the deadlines and the things you may need, because some may require a 500,000 word essay, or some may require for you to write a personal statement, or for you to just submit some type of requirements, but others may not require as much, because you can also use your personal statement to apply for those scholarships as well.
Yeah.
So Aaron, how much time did you dedicate to applying to these scholarships? Was it in the last 2 years or the last year mostly?
Mostly, I wouldn't more so pressure, like make y'all overthink, because all that matters is that the first 2 years of your high school journey should be based on you establishing that good academic standing, and then that junior and senior year should be more so, I'm gonna write down this, I'm gonna write down my accomplishments, I'm gonna write down what have I done so I can look good on paper. So that's gonna be your resume. Everything you've done throughout high school, that's your resume. And it's basically like filling out for a job application. So basically just talking on your behalf. So yeah.
You did that mostly. What did your end final GPA end up being, and then how were the test scores? Did that count? Did that matter? Because I know some people don't do well on tests, but they establish a great academic record, and that gets them into college.
Yeah, it cancels it out kind of.
Yeah.
My final GPA was a 5.2268. And
what?
Yeah, I haven't.
You're so humble about this. I mean,
something they don't know about is that I took advantage of everything the school offered me. They also enlisted in dual enrollment classes, which is basically like college level courses, but you take those after the school day has ended. So I took college level courses since my sophomore year. So that subtly helped me raise my GPA, and the more classes you took, the more it would accumulate towards your GPA, because that's how it worked for me.
So wait a minute, you got into 85 colleges
Yes, ma'am.
What made you pick NIU? What was it about the Huskies?
The Husky, I just love the campus life, and plus it's close to home. I'm a mama's boy, so I love being close to home, and you know, I love my city. It's you can get an education anywhere, but most schools want you to, you know, that people have problems with the tuition and this and that, but there are amazing schools in the state of Illinois. IIT, UIC, Northwestern. You just have to know where to look, or you just have to take advantage of the resources they give you in state, because you know, people want to go out of state to go attend college or to pursue a degree, but that's not necessarily necessary, because we have good institutions within the state that we won't have to pay little to nothing for. So
yeah, I think that's such a good message. I think I already know the answer to this question, but are you going to bring the same hustle from that you brought into high school into college now?
Of course. I'm already looking into a few organizations I want to join when I get on campus. I do leave tonight, so.
I was going to ask you about that, leaving tonight. Are you nervous? Are you scared? I know mom is probably going to be crying because it's not just you, it's your sister too.
Yes, because we're the youngest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be emotional. I'm just going to be everywhere because I'm a very emotional person. I just don't like leaving places, if that makes sense. But I'm going to come back.
Sense. Well, I think it's because you do a good job establishing yourself, and people just gravitate to you, because I'm gravitating to you. You're so amazing.
You are. I got to ask you this, because most people, especially going to college, they're trying to figure out, you know, can I have a trunk party on Tuesday? Can I have a party over here? Because they're trying to get money together for books, being able to get snacks. Is that a concern for you? It sounds like you've had it all figured out.
Not really. Thankfully, I'm blessed. And plus, whatever I'm not able to cover, because I've pretty much everything paid for room, board. I did have a trunk party, so even though I didn't need to have one, it was still good to to see my friends off, for them to see me one last time, and just to have that time before I set off on my journey as an adult, because it can be scary, but you know, just to get that confidence, and you know, just to know all those people have your back from this point forward, it's very reassuring. And it was just a way for me to, you know, stay in contact with them. And plus, even though I didn't need it, you know, I'm pretty much, you know, set. So
yeah, but it's awesome that you have your sibling going with you, because I think that kind of eases that feeling of like being away, because you said that you get accustomed to being, you know, in a spot. Are you guys taking a car? Has this been a point of contention? Mom is rolling her eyes.
Yeah, I actually did just get a car yesterday.
You just got a car yesterday?
Awesome. Congratulations.
That's that scholarship money. See, that's why you got to stay on top of your grades, kids.
Amen.
Yes.
It's going to take you very much far. Plus, it make it easier to plead a case to your parents. Oh, why should I get this? Well, because I did.
Grades.
Exactly.
What I did.
Exactly.
Okay, I have a question for you. Maybe you've done this already, but have you ever thought about going on social media like TikTok and sharing your experience? Because I know, like I said, you could be a great resource.
I'm trying to work my way up to being a content creator, because I was able to post my story on TikTok, and it garnered about 4.6 million views.
Okay.
And it did blow up, and I got a little bit of clout from that. So I'm still I want to, you know, create a few videos and tips and tricks on how juniors and seniors, not even juniors and seniors, anybody in high school can establish that good academic standing. So not only I can succeed, I want to spread that success, spread that wealth, and, you know, continue to pay that forward, because I'm blessed with a lot of opportunities, but that's not because, oh, somebody did this for me. My mom was a very pivotal person who played throughout my whole journey. She always had my back and supporting any endeavor I pursued, making sure I got my neck out there, my head, everything, any opportunity I want, she always pushed me to go for it. So I just want to make sure I can create that kind of space for them, so they don't have to go through that alone, because I know some people are not as fortunate as me to have these different people who want to see me succeed. So I just want to create that space for those youth who may be struggling, or maybe wondering, oh, what do I need to do to achieve what you have achieved? Because I have been getting a few messages regarding that. So I just want to keep responding as much as I can.
You should do it. And the reason being too is a lot of young people, when their parents tell them, it's not the same as like if somebody that's on their same age level tells them. They're like, oh, mom, you're bugging me again, versus hearing it maybe from you.
Yes.
So you should, and that could be your own space, your own lane, and maybe a little money maker on the side. Not that you need money. Just saying. You're sounding like you're going set. Yeah.
Oh, how exciting.
This is exciting.
You know, and I think you'd be a good resource even for the people who, yes, they're not listening to their parents, or maybe they don't have parents or family who have been to college and they don't even know the steps to take, because it can be overwhelming. Here's another question for you. What do you think is the most difficult part for a normal student in the scholarship application process? Is it writing the essay? Is it remembering what you've done all of your high school career? Or what have maybe friends said to you?
It's more so of a mixture, because at my school it's kind of different, because some schools take AP and all these other curriculums. They have these different types of learning going on. But my school was a IB school, an International Baccalaureate program school. I think that's correct. I think I said that right. Yeah. It was an IB school, so I was in the DP program, the diploma program, which means I had to take advanced courses, which means if I scored a certain level on a certain mark on the test, they would give me college credit for the courses I took throughout the high school. Okay, so wow. Yeah, just maintaining that, because it was very difficult. You had to take so many tests, and just managing that along with the application process. It was overwhelming, but if you have that community and that group of people, you won't have to do it alone, because some of my friends, we just worked conversely and like dealing with different group projects. We had to take advantage of the different things the teachers had offered us, because we didn't have to do it alone. If we wanted to, we could have worked into a group for like a slide presentation, or teaching to the class, stuff like that. So just taking advantage of your peers, and not taking advantage, but
I know what you
utilizing
mean. The
your
opportunities that are around you. What's your mom's first name? We got to get a shout out to the
mom.
mom.
Erica.
Erica, you did a great job, Mom. You got to give shouts out to Mom.
Very great young man.
So you're going to college. Real quick, my final question. You're going to college with a lot of your college courses, probably like the entry level, already done. Oh, that's even more excellent.
Yeah, because the courses I took throughout high school, the dual enrollment courses I mentioned, those I have about 20 credits right now. So those credits going to transfer over to my institution. So like courses like English 103, I won't have to take. Like computer information services, I won't have to take. Certain courses I took throughout high school is like slowly preparing me. Yeah, slowly preparing me for what I wanted to do, because I do want to be an electrical engineer in technology. So
I think you're already there. I mean, to say you want to be, you kind of are. Yeah. You just need the classes.
This is the kind of space where you can manifest things. So I know that you want to grow your social media following. I want you to look into that camera right there, and I want you to drop your handle and encourage people to follow you.
My Instagram is amonies. It's AMONEYZ _, so it's kind of complicated.
A-Money? Oh, because you got all that money from the scholarships. Yeah, it's all about the money. Well, I look forward to you coming back. Will you come back when you graduate? You're probably going to graduate early at this point.
Hopefully, that was the plan.
No pressure, but it sounds like it.
If I had the opportunity to do so in high school, I probably would have pursued that, because my school doesn't offer early graduation. So, but yeah, I would have pursued it if they let me. So.
All right, well, maybe you'll be my boss one day. Go light on me. I'll be a senior citizen.
We'll remember. Aaron Williams, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
And shout out to Mom, Erica.
Erica Smith.
Erica Smith.
Dr. Erica Smith.
And your sister.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And your sister.
Oh, yes. Her too.
Your sister's name?
Oh, Valerie, yes. She can be a lot, but she pays
a lot.
She makes me want to go deeper into the work just to drown out everybody.
That's what I'm talking about. Your sister's beautiful, and so is Mom.
Your whole family is.
Dr. Erica Smith.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, Mom and Sis, for coming down to the studio. We look forward to seeing what you're going to do, because we know you're going to do big things.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back.
back to Chicago Now. We are just, we love Aaron Williams. Yeah, he was just amazing. And I think he could be, again, such a great resource for so many families in the future.
And here's something that he didn't say because he wanted to be humble, that the amount really is about 10 million. So we thought 8 million, but the amount is really closer to 10 million. He was being humble about it, which I definitely appreciate. But yeah, I'm so proud to hear that someone has put in the work to really get their future started. And really, if you start early, your future's already in motion. You know, so I think that's something that we sometimes forget. Really do you remember applying to college? I do.
Oh, I do, and I remember applying to scholarships. Again, I was so overwhelmed. My parents didn't go to college, neither did a lot of people in my family, and so we didn't even know where to start, Tia.
Yeah.
And like his mother just mentioned, you know, a lot of the counselors are busy at school. Yeah. They're doing other things. They can't really give you that one-on-one guidance that sometimes you need. So I'm really encouraging him to make some videos. So I hope that you all can follow him too.
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out to my my high school counselor who actually watches the show. Laura, thank you so much for everything that you did for me. I was able to get, I wasn't like Aaron, okay? I got into 100 colleges. Wow. And I left for college with $40,000 in my pocket. I didn't have 10 million. But it was something, you know, so I know the work that it takes to apply for those. To hear somebody say $10 million, that means that they really put in a lot of work every single day, which I think, you know, young people can really use that advice, especially growing up in the city of Chicago and some of these surrounding communities. It's hard. Yeah. You know, it's really hard.
You really start life with a leg up, I believe, you know, not having that financial burden now on your name. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. Okay, well, we have some trending topics to get through quickly, but I wanted to start with sunscreen products because it's always a pain to try to find a sunscreen product that is like somewhat natural because you hear all these scary things about like the chemicals and stuff that are added into them. So this is one new headline. FDA warns Americans to avoid certain popular sunscreen products.
Okay, and I've seen that.
So some of them that they're warning consumers to avoid, sunscreens sold in whipped, mousse, and foam forms. Have you seen that at Sephora, Ulta, all that? They're on social media. People are displaying this on their face. Also, they sent warning letters to several companies, including Supergoop, which is another.
Isn't that the celebrity? What's her name?
Oh, it is. Is it Gwyneth Paltrow?
Gwyneth. Yes, that's
I think it is Gwyneth.
Yes.
And it just.
I think it is.
I think it's such a
conversation
starter.
Look that up, y'all, because I don't want to be wrong. And then Gwyneth come trying to hit us with a lawsuit.
Yeah, you're right.
It is? Okay,
See,
yes.
I know some
I thought so, yeah.
But I just find it really interesting because how are we supposed to find products when these are all marketed as safe, such cute packaging?
Yeah.
You have so many eyes, little eyes on them especially, and then you learn later that it's not going to put on your biggest organ in your body.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about this when I saw it because at a lot of daycares, especially my daughter is at a school, and they require that you basically give them sunscreen for them to take to school every day. And I was thinking about it and I was like, when I get a chance, I'm going to research it because it's got to be something in my kitchen that I can use that I can make at home. And maybe I just haven't thought about it, but it's got to be something natural out there that what were people doing 20,000 years ago?
Yeah, really.
And they survived, so it has to be something out there is my point, in nature that we can use.
I know for sure bug sprays. There's a lot of good natural bug sprays that you can make at home. Yeah, sunscreens, they're hard. I will say that I did get a sunscreen from Whole Foods. I had that Yuka app that can rate how products like rank in terms of, you know, if they're good for you or not, organic, all that kind of stuff. But then I put on the sunscreen and it does not rub in whatsoever. So I have this kind of white cast
like this, like
on myself, and I'm just like, are you guys serious? You know, you try to.
You got to give up something, Gabby.
Anyways, I'm just mad now.
So we were talking about, you mentioned, or I mentioned, I think I did, about going to the Bears game, and my husband tried to redo the whole Jumbotron.
Do we have it?
Moment.
Do we have it?
We have the video. We had somebody next to us started recording it. This is the video right here. Watch this. He's in the black hoodie. But the person recording is sitting next to us, and he got all like excited and stopped recording the Jumbotron. So you don't really see it all. But I didn't know what he was doing, so I didn't react. I guess if I had ducked down too, it would have been really a viral moment. But I was like, what the Hello Kitty is he doing? Why is he putting this hood up? What is happening? Who are you running from? The CIA?
Oh, early. Next time, let your wife know what's up.
I had no idea.
She can play. That is so funny.
What is this fool doing?
Oh, I see. So the guy next to you, right there, he got excited. He's like, oh.
All right.
Hilarious.
Always a good time on Chicago Now. I love doing this job. Don't you?
Me too.
Yeah, all right.
Best
Yeah,
way
you
to end
can
the
clap.
day.
Yeah, clap for us.
Live studio audience, come on. Come on.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow. You guys have a great day. We'll see you on.
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at Noon.
Next at noon, overnight storms pound Chicago, flooding streets and basements. We're going to show you the hardest hit areas.
And Hurricane Erin leaving hundreds of thousands of people in the dark in Puerto Rico. Now she is heading north. We're going to have a live report from North Carolina.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Sylvia Perez.
And I'm Brian Jackson. As we turn to some heavy rain overnight, it flooded both streets and homes all throughout the Chicagoland area.
Mayor Johnson went to talk to residents about chronic flooding that was happening in Gage Park. Fox 32's Joni Lum is joining us live there right now. Joni?
Hello. Gage Park residents are suffering with every rainstorm that's happened. Mayor Johnson heard their complaints. He went out to see some of the damage, and he told residents that the 100-year-old infrastructure system is failing. The city is seeking restoration for residents. Mayor Johnson talked to residents in the 5700 block of South Campbell. Neighbors say a storm on July 25th and rain since then is causing constant trauma. They spend money to have basements pumped out only to